Just like that.
And
As
we're
Bruce Buffer in the UFC says, we are live. Um, thank you. Thank you, everybody who's joining. This is another episode of Checked Out, which is our Relay Commerce podcast. What's the story behind Checked Out? Well, we all have been working in various different partnerships roles. Me for maybe, I don't even know now, 5, 6 years. Shannon, kind of similar.
Yeah.
Eric, how long have you been in the partnerships game?
I mean, 9 months. I mean, I had
9 months,
I had
veteran.
time being a founder, so I feel like that's partnerships. But up
Yeah.
to you guys.
Yeah. So we've all been around the block a bit. Eric a little less so, but he's been around the same ecosystem and working very much in the e-commerce world. So we decided let's try and shake things up a little bit versus the normal kind of podcast that you might see across LinkedIn, across Spotify, that can sometimes be a little slow to listen to. We thought we'd try and come up with a bit of a different format. The end goal of this generally is to give you a bit of a glimpse into our world as to what we do, as to some of the things that are frustrating for us, some of the things that we love, some of the things that we're excited about. And also we have one special feature of this show that essentially we always bring on a special guest. So there is someone who is a mystery to us, who we're going to drop a few clues about who they might be, and then we'll be welcoming them onto the show. And we've got some questions lined up for them in various different segments we'll run you guys through. We've checked out. This is the final day of the month. This month it's aligning perfectly. We've got a Friday, it's the 31st. Saturday is going to be a new month in August. And it doesn't always work out. February, nightmare. But yeah. Here we go on a Friday. Thank you all for joining us. And I'm going to hand over to Eric, who has got some clues to help Shannon guess one of those secret guests.
Yeah, our guest today, I just want to start with, he is the most interesting man in the world. I just want to go ahead.
Is it the Dos Equis guy?
No, it's not the Dos Equis guy, but this guy is literally the most entertaining and interesting person I think I've ever met, actually. He has turned his love into sports into multiple careers, podcast host, calling games, emceeing events, content producing. He's got his own studio. He's always got a microphone in his hand. He's just got relationships with like dozens and dozens of athletes, broadcasters, entrepreneurs, business people. He also helps grow emerging food and beverage companies in the Shopify space. So any other questions hearing that?
I have no more guesses. Like I said, this guy, the most interesting man in the world. Let's see who it is.
Well, yeah, I'll let him announce himself.
Eric, if I'm the most interesting man in the world, you got to get out more.
Sam.
Welcome, Sam J. Sutton. How are you doing, man?
Happy to be here. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It's going to be fun. I'm ready to go.
Amazing. I guess we usually start out with the guests, like, tell us a little bit about yourself. Feel free to have fun with this.
Sure. You want me to talk about more of my role where I am right here in Oasis Snacks, or overall?
Anything.
I'll give you the gamut. Listen, once you get me started, I don't shut up. So be careful. I wish I was kidding. So I actually, like you opened, I thought I was going to be a sports broadcaster growing up. I went to school for that, and that was my passion. But always in the background, I'm really, really good at marketing. I'm really good at relationships and managing my network. So I kind of leveraged that love, passion, desire, and I do it on my own scale. I do it on, like, I am called for quite a few events. I call play-by-play for these guys. I'm doing, all the highlights and all that fun stuff. But really, on the back end, I started a marketing company just to see where my talents will take me. And I will tell you, you are as good as your Rolodex are in this industry. So I ended up accruing quite a few impressive people. So when a brand calls me and says, hey, we want to bring our product to market, or we want to take something and take it to the next level, I do have a plan for everybody. I mean, I have a team. We look at it, we study it, we understand it, and then we give the approach. And there's always a budget associated. You need a whether it's Google SEO or whether it be meta ads, or whether it be just starting small from the foundation and then expanding it, filming commercials and buying ad space on TV, whatever it may be. But doing that for about 10, 15 years, a lot of the brands that I was working with, they were under the beverage world in that umbrella. And it happened to be, there was a lot of, symmetry with Oasis. Oasis is not just a distributor, they're more of like a brand partner, growth engine for any emerging CPG brands, predominantly in the beverage space. They got into the industry. I can get into that as well. A little more on the investment side, and it opened up their eyes when there was a big exit on one of the brands that they invested in, that this is an industry that they actually wanted to be in. And then a lot of the marketing work was being funneled through me. So it ended up making sense for me to come on board. Now, eventually that morphed into myself being more of the active business relations guy. Still, the heart of it's marketing. We spend a lot on marketing, very aggressive. But when it comes to business relations, I'll onboard as many brands that I think could fit our ecosystem and we can help cultivate and grow. I mean, there's so many different aspects to the company, but that's kind of me in a nutshell.
Nice. That's awesome. No, I love it. I think it definitely matches all the brands that Shannon, Harry, and I are talking to, which is the food and bev, subscription element to the business, all of that stuff. So definitely makes sense. Now a little change of pace here. I know that big year for basketball.
Oh, let's go Knicks.
Year for the Knicks. For those watching, Sam is in the game and in sports, knows sports. Name a player from 2002 that had the most points in one game. Like, he's going to know the answer.
I got useless stats that is clogging my brain. I can tell you the most nonsensical things like Eric is saying that is true. And there's no way they escape. Once you know them, you know them. And once you're a sports head, it's just stuck there. So definitely occupying more space. And I probably could be way more successful if I didn't care that much.
Did you watch World Cup this year? Genuinely curious. Does it transfer to you internationally?
I'm not a soccer guy. I watched it. I have so many problems with that sport. I think there's so many flaws. I have a show. I have a sports podcast that we talked about this exact problem. How does it make sense? And are you a soccer guy? Anyone here a soccer guy?
I like all sports. Yeah, I love soccer.
Not particularly.
Harry, you're not a soccer guy?
Man, I feel ashamed to be a Brit who's not.
That's what I'm about to say. You have the accent.
Not really into soccer.
It's like, what are you
I
doing?
apologize to all Brits listening. I watched the World Cup. I watched a couple, but yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you the problem with soccer overall. Then you can move on from the sport, because how does it make sense? You have so much money. You have so many eyeballs on it, more than the Super Bowl, Eric. And you had so much. Yet there's a guy on the sidelines, this referee, that decides how much time gets added to the game. There's no 0-0-0 on the clock. Oh, we stopped 3 minutes for that, 2 minutes for that, and we're extra 10 minutes.
I do feel us Americans really don't like the added time. We really just can't remember it.
But then you're the guys who put all of the stuff on the halftime. You're happy to just extend the game out. There was drinks breaks. There's all sorts of stuff. You're like, make it longer, but you don't want to know how much longer it's going to be.
I don't mind making the night longer.
The experience longer.
When the time is time, when there's no linear time that defines a clock, that's where you
right.
lose. That's where you lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll have like 10 minutes of stoppage time, and then somebody will get injured in stoppage time, and then they have what
this
they call
mysterious amount. Yeah.
It's mysterious time. So there actually is no idea how much time they're accounting for within the 10 minutes. That was already extra time from within.
Eric, would it kill the networks to have a clock on the bottom, like a ticking clock adding, so you actually could do it literally and not just we trust the dude on the sideline with billions of dollars on the line like crazy.
But this is what people want, Sam. They want something to discuss in the pub the next day. They want something to debate. They want, was there too much time, too little time? This is
Harry,
the British
you can debate about the game itself. Anyway, moving on. You talk about the Knicks. Yeah, go Knicks. Die hard all my life. What I saw was cathartic. It actually hurt me as my sports fandom, by the way, Eric, because now, like, the Yankees suck, but I don't care because the Knicks won. The Jets are coming up. I don't feel desperate and despair. The Knicks
All right,
won.
watch out on the Jets. Watch out on the Jets. It's a plane. The Jets are coming up is a wild statement.
Oh, stop.
Every year, us, I say us, Jets fans are like, oh, this is our year, and then
I stopped saying that 20 years ago. I promise you.
I mean, I live with one of them that people thinks it's our year.
Yeah, years out and counting. I mean, it's always exciting, but there's never.
No, it's ridiculous.
No doubt. Well, that's cool. I guess I'd also love to hear updates on the podcast, how that's going. Like, tell us.
It's actually pretty interesting. This podcast, my friend and I launched, and it was really at the heart of it. It's called Last Call with Sutton and Simmons. We're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple. It's a lot of fun, and we're in studio. And I do have, like you said in the intro, a lot of relationships in this world. Like I have a lot of people in the broadcast world, a lot of athletes, a lot of executives. So if you look at the lineup of the guests that we have either on or came on or are coming on, it's astounding. It really is. And it's funny. You would think that at the end of the day, I'm not in that space really. That's just me having fun on the side and building something. It's because it's a passion of mine. But when you're asking like legendary figures to come on the show when they're coming on, it's surreal to me. It shows you that everyone's human, everyone's normal, and everyone's happy to help out the next. I mean, I do have some crazy stories where I reached out to someone and they asked for like $100,000 for like an appearance. And I'm like, bro, I have like 1,000 followers. Relax. Like, he's like, this is what I'm worth if you want me. I'm like, okay, relax. Okay, it's all good. No problem. But me getting that, for example, I'm getting Linda Cohn on from ESPN. She's a legend. I'm getting, I have Alan Hahn from MSG and ESPN coming on. I had a guy from FAN, Evan Roberts came on. I had one of the announcers for the Yankees came on. Like the list is endless. I have the VP of the Baltimore Ravens coming on. Like I can rattle off the list of the people that we have, and all in due part to me reaching out and saying, hey, would you care to do a spot on the show? And they're all willing and able. It's awesome. It really is.
That's awesome, man. I love to hear those updates. I remember you were talking about some of the first shows when me, you, and Jordan spoke. Jordan's on vacation right now. I know he would have given his left thumb to be on this. But no, that's legendary stuff. I think we're going to transition into rapid fire questions, Janice.
Yeah, let's do it. So Sam, something you might be familiar with, given you are a podcast legend, but we do like to toy around with different segments on the show. And one of our segments is rapid fire questions. You can say pass, but really I just want your gut reaction to a quick rapid fire question. Some are going to be, relevant to the world of e-com. Some are just going to be personal preferences, and we're just going to run it. How's it sound?
You want one-word answers? You want like elaborate answers?
One word. I would like to keep it snappy, but if there's a story behind something, I'm not going to shy away from it.
I mean, you did call me a podcast legend, which I'm not there yet, but
you're on your way.
I don't know how to give one-word answers. I don't know what one-word answers are. That's a problem for me.
All right.
Shut up.
We'll do our best. I'll take 15.
All right, hit me. I'm ready. Let's go.
All right, ready? 5 a.m. run club or 2 a.m. in the club?
Oh, run club. In the club? Crazy. I got to wake up at 5 a.m. I haven't been in the club in I don't know how many years.
Perfect.
Next. Let's go.
Chips or popcorn? You got to pick one.
Chips.
All
Chips.
Right. Sweet or salty?
Wait. It has to be like those kettle cooked chips. It can't be like nasty, thin Lay's style. It's got to be that crunch. You need the flavors.
Fair enough. I do like truffled chip.
Chips have a crunch, a satiation to it over popcorn. Popcorn's great. Watching a movie, popcorn, it's great. Less fattening, so to speak. But come on, chips and a goat.
Less fattening until you siphon butter into like me at least. All right, sweet or salty snacks?
Salty.
Salty. All right. If you had to pick one favorite snack brand, go.
It's not going to come as a surprise to you, and it seems a little like fake, but it's not. But it's Hal's New York.
Oh,
Hal's
it's
it's the definition of a New York deli style chips. It's funny you mentioned popcorn. They have popcorn. They have pretzels. They also have drinks. They have seltzers. But I love their flavors. I mean, everyone remembers, and it's funny how they came about. I believe It originally was Deep River, and then Deep River moved to a different company. I think it was acquired by a bigger brand, and then that opened up a necessity within the company under the umbrella of where Hal's came from. And they've been building something, and everything they come out with is on point. Like, they really do a lot of R&D, and they make sure that the quality is where it's supposed to be. I am a big proponent. If you've never tried Hal's New York, I would suggest you get out there and find a way to get it.
I have to agree. I'll back that. I'm a Jersey girl, and houses all over here too.
Oh, where are you from in Jersey? Rapid fire to you now.
I live in West Orange. How about you?
Oh, I'm born and raised in Deal, New Jersey, down by the shore.
Nice. Yeah. Beautiful. Oh my God, Deal's amazing.
It's a summer town. I mean, I grew up with, I'm killing this rapid fire segment, I apologize, but I grew up with my neighbors being deer and rabbit. And like in the summer, when everyone comes to invade, I was like cursing them dead.
They're gone. Yeah. It makes sense. But,
anyway, back to the rapid fire.
Best bang for your buck item that you ever bought?
Probably my AirPods.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Nice.
I use it. I'll think about it. How many times you spend $200-$300 on something and you use it, you put it back? How often do you use your AirPods? It's literally in my ear, not now, but 20 hours a day. Yeah. So AirPods.
Good one.
I found myself actually wearing my AirPods just in the evenings as well around the house, just to hear notifications and things. And I realized that is really not good for my head, I don't think.
It's probably terrible, but it seems like you agree, Harry. Yeah, I'm assuming the next question is going to be the worst bang for my buck. Is that true, Shannon?
No, but let's do it.
No, I don't have an answer for that. Go to the next question.
Name one Shopify app that you would defend to the death.
That I would what to the deck? Defend
to the death.
Oh, it's a great question. Is it terrible if I say none? Because I really am unhappy with most of them.
Common answer.
Eric, is that okay to say?
As long as after you go live with Saved By next Tuesday, I think.
Oh, no. Okay, let's rephrase that. Saved By is the best app that I've yet to use, by the way. We're installing it next week. But Saved By, damn, it's amazing.
Let's go.
By the way, all kidding aside, Saved By is actually pretty awesome. I'll tell you why. It's no, you can get into that more, Eric, but yeah, Saved By, done. Final answer.
Let's go.
I can kind of parlay that into one of our questions, though. I was actually looking on the Oasis Snacks website, and on the About Us page, there's a couple asterisks there that I thought were a little funny. One of which was like, we were kind of talking about the return policy, and one of the asterisks was you can't return unopened snacks. So, as a rapid fire question, what kind of open snacks were you guys receiving?
So it's funny. People will try chips. People will try. They'll open up like a fruit snack or whatever. They'll taste it, and then they'll just decide that they could return it, which is, they didn't like the taste. I mean, that's not how it works. Like, you're buying something, you're eating. You don't just open up a product and eat it and return it because you don't like the way it tastes. That's not how this works in this industry. So we actually had to put that down there because we were getting an ungodly amount of opened snacks. And not that the goods were bad. It was just like, they're trying a new flavor. They're trying the salt and vinegar. They're trying the pickle flavor. And hey, I don't know. I don't like it. I'm going to return it. So yeah.
Doesn't take my fancy.
That's off the table now.
Yeah, I read that and I laughed to myself. I just imagine you getting like half-drink seltzer bottles.
You have no idea the horror stories we've gotten of open product. It's ridiculous.
I imagine that too. All right, let's throw a couple more at you. Favorite metric to measure success? You're looking at maybe marketing metrics or something like that.
I mean, to me, the favorite metric of measuring success is the end result, and that's the cash. That's really what it comes down to. And it seems so cliche, but you could put all the effort in the world into something, and you could think you're doing everything right, but at the end of the day, the sales tell the story. If you are checking out and the customers are checking out, and to me, success is when you're actually, all the work you're putting in comes into fruition in the end result that you were trying to accomplish. So everybody, it's human nature. You think that, your methodology, and you think that the way you go about doing things is always going to be the correct way, but sometimes that's just not the case. And how do you measure what actually is the case? And that's the end result, and that's the sales, that's the numbers. So numbers don't lie, and when they say the customer is always right, it's not necessarily true, But sometimes you have to pretend that way, but the numbers don't lie. You got to have customer service, allow that white glove feel to the customer, and usually that translates into numbers, and that's the best success rate.
Yeah, fair enough. And straight to the point. Worst or funniest customer complaint you ever received about a snack?
About a snack? I don't want to be boring and hum and haw and think right now, but the worst complaint that I got about a snack is that it was too crunchy.
That's a good
And
one.
I said,
People are
that makes
ridiculous.
sense that a pretzel is too crunchy. That's just not a thing.
It's not. I completely agree with you. That's wild. We actually had a question on here that was American football or soccer. I think you answered that one.
Well, football all day.
Yeah. And then favorite sport to watch live?
In person
Both in person or on TV?
or on TV? Okay, so it's funny because that's a very loaded question because I don't like going to football games, American football games, because there's so much clock stopping.
Yes. Yeah.
I agree.
And there's so much depth. And it's funny, when I do go to football games, I have my headset on, I'm listening to the radio of them call the game live because you need context to everything. So I don't like going to football games at all. And it sounds very sacrilegious, but I love watching football on TV. Going to games, it's funny, I'm not that much of a hockey guy, but hockey live is phenomenal. But because I'm not that much of a hockey guy, I'm going to go basketball. And it's funny, I'm ignoring baseball, but basketball, the action's high octane. And again, I'm operating as if I'm sitting courtside. I'm not sitting in crappy seats right now.
All right, I'm going to flip the script a little bit here, and I'm going to throw rapid questions to Harry and Eric. Same question. What is the last snack binge you went on?
Ooh.
Real quick,
There's these things in the UK. Cool. I don't know if you guys have ever tried them, called Percy Pigs. Have you heard of these?
I have not. Tell me more.
They're quite a speciality kind of. They're like a gummy sweet type thing, but they're very famous in the UK, and a lot of people just obsess over them from different countries. So whenever I go, I bring them back to my girlfriend. I brought them back, and I just demolished like most of them before she even got her hands on them, to be honest. So yeah, Percy Pigs from Marks and Spencer's in the UK. Go to snack. Very, very good.
Doritos.
They are.
the honey
Doritos.
Yes.
I think I went to town on Doritos recently, by the way.
Nice. Which
Yeah.
flavor?
The blue bag, whatever.
Yeah, the blue bag. Cool Ranch all the way.
Cool
Ranch
Ranch.
is the way to go.
1,000%.
And you feel like crap for like a week afterwards.
Yeah.
Not worth
So
it.
worth it.
Yeah,
Honestly, Go ahead, Eric.
No, I was just saying we had an ultra marathon last weekend, and the guy I was pacing, his favorite snack is those honey twists for like the crunchiness. So that was like the theme. Like if he probably threw up, I don't know, 14 times to be honest, but he was able to get those done. So I was just eating them as well, just in solidarity. So we went.
I've been every time I go to the store, I have to buy Lesser Evil. Specifically the cheddar cheese balls. They're ridiculous. I can eat a whole bag of them.
Addicting, those things.
It's ridiculous. It's not fair. But honestly, all of the brands that are making those right now are great. it's the snack.
It's funny. You know what's funny? In the snack world, there's a big trend right now on puff stuff.
Yeah, everything's
So
fun.
like it's a little bit of a healthy kick, which is not. I mean, it's not really healthy, but a healthier option than getting the deep fried stuff. But it's been trending. I've seen that in the marketplace, and also a lot. While I'm on this topic, everything nowadays has protein added.
Yeah, it's insane.
Put a little
Everything.
powder in anything, you won't even notice. But now we can claim protein.
Right, but you know what's funny? You do taste it, like that the Khloe Kardashian brand Cloud, the popcorn.
Yeah.
They put a lot of that protein powder on top. I don't like it. I mean, it's doing very well. It's successful, but that chalky, powdery taste is not my thing.
Yeah, totally agree. It is like everywhere you look these days.
Yeah.
I mean, on the topic of snacks, let's jump back into Oasis. Sam, you mentioned a couple things that I'd love to double click on. One, kind of how Oasis Snacks got, created and invented was more so coming out of like the venture cap world. Was
Yeah,
that
I'll give you the history of what's going on here. So about 10, 12 years ago, the two Kashi brothers, Eric and Jeff Kashi, who founded the company, I believe they invested in few brands. One of them was Body Armor, and they ended up being acquired by Coke. And they were a part of that, in a way, not in a crazy significant way, but they were a part of that, and they had a success there, and it opened up their eyes saying, hey, this beverage space, this snack space, there's something to it, because their initial business is not that. Eric, the older brother, he actually runs a home decor, home goods company as well. And Jeff, who is my age, who I know forever, that's how I actually got into this. Jeff is actually, one of the kings of nightlife in New York. He runs all of the major parties. He's a promoter, not as much now as he was when he was younger, but like that's his world. He has in Miami and New York and LA and, whatever, everywhere. So when they invested, they're like, hey, we have something here. And they ended up taking the space, fast forward now 10, 12 years. There are other successful brands they invested in. You see a lot of the brands behind me hanging up. There are a lot of our partners in the space where we do a lot of the marketing for them and also distribute for them and, run their e-com. But what we do is I'll go through each aspect. We own the DC over here, the distribution center here in New Jersey, in Somerset, New Jersey. That's where I am currently right now. We also recently just opened up on the West Coast. So at the heart of it, we're an e-com company. We're an e-com play. It's direct to consumer, although that's not everything that we do. I mean, because we control the actual distribution center, one of the difference makers of what we do is we will break apart companies' master packs and make our own varieties that they're not willing to because it costs too much money to ask the co-packer to do that. Or you can't be quick enough to adjust or to, you see the sales are on these top 5 SKUs and you want to repack the ASINs, so to speak, on Amazon or our listings on our website, and we're quick on our feet. Well, we'll just adjust and make new ASINs on the spot based on sales. So now, once we control the sales data, we control the marketing spend, because a lot of what we do is marketing with and for the brands. And we also control the actual, the company itself. So we have a big spectrum of what goes on and which brands are trending and, what the trends are going to be, at least using big data, because a lot of what we do is data driven. So now we'll lean into marketing spend, let's just say on whatever it may be in a deal or a coupon clip. And if we see it's working, we'll lean into that and we'll double down, triple down, and we'll do some crazy marketing programs for companies. So like one of the things I think I mentioned to you earlier was like, imagine you're a iced tea company and you want to break into the market and you want to steal market share from one of your main competitors or even from the giant in the room. So what you do is we offer a program. We could have an insert into each of our few thousand packages that go out a day with a QR code that takes you back to the listing on our site, or we'll actually put a sample itself of your product in that package. So now imagine you're taking an end consumer that's already looking in the headspace of buying an iced tea and giving them another iced tea to try. So now we're not just putting an ad out there and hoping somebody clicks. We're actually targeting your potential customer and we're taking it away from your competitor. So there's a lot of super effective ways that things that we've implemented, programs that we're doing. A lot of it's digital. We even have a wholesale platform where a lot of the mom and pops and bodegas and delis in the tri-state area, where they use us as a convenient type shop. We have trucks on the Northeast that really go all over the place on the Northeast that will also differentiate us, because we have a minimum on that and we don't make you order the minimum on the product. It's minimum on the order. So you could order like 50 different items from 50 different brands and getting a case pack of each and you're fine. And then we have a truck going around New York. Another part of our business that I didn't even touch upon is we recently, when I say recently, I'm talking about 2 to 3 years now, have really become the de facto premium glass packaging, especially higher end international waters that you see in Michelin star restaurants, that you see in 5-star hotels, that you see in corporate headquarters. Like, we're shipping to professional ball clubs, we're shipping to some NFL teams and some MLB teams, and like that's a pretty cool thing. But then all of a sudden you see like the customer list, like, oh, you're selling to Tiffany's, you're selling to, like, a lot of these major corporate offices are buying from us. And ironically enough, these higher end glass products. So we designed a proprietary packaging where it's eco-friendly, has a great eco footprint. It's made of like this like egg carton type of material where it's molded to each glass bottle. So we ship, it doesn't break. So that makes us automatically a leg up in the industry because the breakage rate when it comes to glass shipping, people shy away from it. A lot of distributors, a lot of people that ship that product, they don't necessarily like to do it. We actually would love to do it. We encourage it. So a lot of these glass companies come our way. And even like one of the biggest giants in the industry in water, like Evian, I believe we're like a top 5 Evian seller in the entire United States at this point. Like we are going through trailers and trailers of that a quarter, and it's astounding. So I'd like to leverage that and bring it into other parts of that. So I travel a lot. I go all around the world. I try to find as many brands that really make sense and fit the bill. We get brands from Italy, brands from the UK. We carry Hilden, and we do a lot of big business with that. Like there's a lot of different countries that they're representing us. And our biggest one, and I'll end up on this one, is a New Zealand brand called Antipodes. And that's a perfect success story to talk about. This is a high-end water. It seems crazy if you don't know the space, but when you're in the high-end water space, who are your customers? These people that are going to these, $300-400 dinner steakhouse places, and they want to cleanse the palate before they drink their wines. We're talking about the bougiest of the bouge. But you know what? There's a lot of that in the marketplace. So there's really nobody that cornered that. So we decided that, hey, let's go for the premium waters. It's funny because in the CPG space and in the beverage space, we're more of the not commodity, but like more of the up and coming indie brands that are trying to get acquired that eventually will get acquired. But when it comes in the premium space, which we started getting into a few years ago, the waters have been very, very kind to us. And it's a tremendous, tremendous opportunity because there's really nobody that has that part of the market cornered. So we're really like dealing with that in a tremendous way. And that's where I see the future of the company really growing astronomically is there.
Antipodes is a really interesting concept. I actually just looked it up. First of all, Oasis Snacks is the first find here. So shout out to you. But $55 bottle of water. That's
No, it's for a case. It's for a case.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's 2 different sizes. I'll tell you what it is.
Get it.
It's expensive. I'll tell you, it's the creme de la creme of waters. But
I mean,
listen,
like,
you know what their story
Saratoga
is?
water over here is like, I mean,
No, you know what's funny? I know, you know that guy Martin Reese. He's that water sommelier. He's like the sommelier of water. He's all over the place.
That. Brilliant idea.
Like we chat often. I kind of know what the difference is. In the beginning, I had no clue. I'm like, what the hell's the difference? I'll drink Poland Springs or I'll drink Mountain Valley or Saratoga. It's the same crap. It's not really. Once you learn the nuanced difference between them, there really is. The mineral count, the sodium count, the what it's good used for, what it replens your electrolytes. There's so many different components to water. You would have no idea how complex the simple industry is.
I really didn't until this moment, but I also would love to get the sommelier of water on this podcast.
Oh, I'll put you in touch. I'll put you in touch.
That would be a great conversation, but you also have to come back.
I'm always willing to come. Listen, one thing you learned about me is I am not shy.
Fair enough. Eric, were you going to say something?
No, I'm just holding Sam to it. We're excited to get that intro to this guy.
Dude, I don't kid. I am as
I'm
an open book, and I don't BS. I'm straight up. I'm happy to.
Let's go. Amazing.
So basically, I think through your niche of the glass bottles, right, it's kind of organically moving you, I guess, upstream, we could say, in the snack category. Was that an intentional play? Is that just something we're going to double down on because we're here now? Like, what kind of brands are you really looking for at the end of the day? Because I feel like we talked to CPG brands all day long, and I feel like this.
It depends on the trade show that I go to.
Okay.
Like every show that I go to, there is intention. So like, for example, the most recent one that we attended was the Fancy Food Show in the Javits Center in New York. And that show, you have all of the, higher end. I mean, in the basement, they actually had the regular brands that I see at every show, but upstairs is where I go for. I try to onboard and really grow that category. And once that category is growing, obviously I cultivate it and plant it and plow it and make sure that there's enough coming out of it. But I don't want to say set it and forget it, but I compartmentalize. Then that part of the business, incremental growth, and make sure that we start gaining more market share. But that's not where I live, and that's not where I'm like focused on solely. Because then when I go, for example, to in Anaheim, we have the what's it called show?
Expo West.
Expo West. Over there, I'm looking for up and coming brands, and I'm looking for brands that are, going to be emerging, whether it be in snack or confections or even some beverage. I mean, there is really a purpose for every part of what we do. I'm not just focused on one and moving away from the other. The idea to really grow the pie and make us indispensable, so to speak, is we want to have an offering for every potential end consumer, whether it be the higher end water consumer, and that's a Michelin star restaurant or a 5-star hotel type of customer, or whether it be the direct to consumer everyday, Tom, Dick, and Harry that's ordering for our website, which guess what? That is a big portion of our business as well. So you have to be cognizant of all, really.
No, that's amazing. Genuinely. I guess I'm getting from the first 3 times I talked to you and now this time, you're very good at storytelling. I want to just like open the floor here. Any like cool stories or anything that's happened recently or on your mind that you'd like to share with us? You're just a good storyteller. So,
I mean, I'm happy to. It's funny. I see that your last name is Autry. I'm going to ask you on a whim. Are you related to Gene Autry, the singing cowboy from the 50s?
Yes.
How are you related?
Well, from my understanding, it is my grandpa's first cousin.
Okay, so it's your family. And are there any other Autrys alive?
Yeah, so technically on that tree, on the last one, that still has the last name of Autry in terms of like youngest, but if I have kids, that'll continue.
I'm saying for right now, you're the last living descendant of the Autry.
Hold the Autry name because
okay. I'm happy you gave me this context because I actually do have a pretty interesting story. And again, this is on a whim. I could have struck out when I asked you that, and the answer would have been no. I'd be like, oh crap. But it's funny. A family really close to my family, a relative as well. He passed away since, but old man, his name was Charlie Saruya, actually, related to me. He was in the Army, and back then, we're talking about in the 50s, I think it was in the 50s, where regardless who you are, you're getting drafted to the Army. We don't care if you're a Hollywood superstar, that being Gene Autry at the time, or if you're a random immigrant in Brooklyn that just came off the boat 20 years ago, you're coming to the Army. So happens to be this gentleman that was very close to my family. He got drafted, and his bunkmate, I think on top of him, was your great uncle, cousin, whatever, Gene Autry. And that's like pretty surreal because you have this like Hollywood star. And usually when it comes to these types of individuals, they're a little full of themselves. They're a little, I don't got to get my hands dirty or whatever. And happens to be, this relative of mine, Charlie, he was an Orthodox Jew. And he had a very hard time keeping kosher, keeping Sabbath, all of that stuff. It's almost impossible in the Army. But Gene Autry, your relative, your great whatever, he actually made every effort in his power, using every bit of his pull to allow him to maintain his faith and allowed him to practice his religion. And he made sure he had the food that he needed for dietary reasons. He made sure he was able to take other people, took his shifts on Sabbath so he didn't have to do anything. So it always stuck with me whenever I hear the name Autry. I think about that because it means something to me that just because a dude's famous, just because the guy's a superstar, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're not good dudes or good people or good gals at the heart. So off the dome, that's what they came up with. But dude, I have millions of stories. I am full of them.
That's amazing. I love that. That legendary stuff. It's kind of like the, what's that new show? Is it Fallout?
Oh, the bomb shelter show. Yeah.
Like, I don't know if they're trying to say that's like, that was supposed to be Gene Autry or something or somebody.
Oh, you mean Walter Goggins' character?
Yeah. Is that like what they're trying to do? Because that's kind of what it seems to be.
I mean,
like, you know what I mean? Like with like the movie star and then.
Yeah, movie star cowboy that became the face. I mean, minus the apocalypse, I guess so. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have watched Fallout, but it's like I'm pretty sure I need to Google this.
By the way, it's an Amazon Prime show, and I highly recommend seeing it. It's a bit outlandish, but it's awesome.
It's unbelievable. But yeah, they like basically have a character that is like portrayed as Gene Autry from my understanding. But anyway,
I mean, the story is incredible, and like, what a twist of fate for you two to come across.
It's absurd.
The small world of ecom bringing you two together to have that conversation. That was amazing.
I will say, since I like moved to the West Coast, it is really interesting. Like, I'll like get a beer or something requires an ID, and I'll show my ID, and it'll be an older person, and they'll like. Some people have stories like, Gene came into our town, and like he came to town. Like our town only had 300 people, and he hung out with everyone and took photos with like kids. It's actually
dude. At the end of the day, all stories point to him being a good person.
Yeah, he never had kids, but he like was like really giving. And like any golf course, there like people are like, oh my gosh, like it is kind of cool to, I guess, hear those stories. But I hear them all the time. So for me, I guess it doesn't sound as crazy because he really just traveled around and did all that. But it is epic to hear those stories.
What else you got?
I mean, it's kind of hard after that story, honestly, for me on my end. To
threw you for a loop. I knew it.
Yeah, that was pretty legendary. I mean, I'd say on our end, you know, you're going live with Saved By. One extra feature that we do have now, Sam, since the last time we spoke, is a 100% satisfaction guarantee, which I think is interesting. You were talking about people like returning open bags and saying they didn't like the taste. You know, after about a month of being live on Saved By, you'll actually have the ability to cover satisfaction related claims. So like in that case, you would actually be able to cover somebody that said it had bad taste. Now I know that's up to you, and if you want to do that, but it is a new feature. Thought I'd just call that out, given the storytelling and some of those examples. But yeah, I guess I'd pass this over to Harry to close out any remaining questions.
But that
just one thing on.
Sorry, I was just gonna say that feature specifically is for your pretzels are too crunchy people.
So. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
These pretzels are making me thirsty, right?
So Sam, I come from the email marketing world, and I'm just kind of interested to know your take on email marketing, on life cycle strategy. Riff on that if you don't mind.
It's super effective if done and used properly. The biggest challenge of email marketing is getting spammed all the time and that usually tends to happen when you're not intentional about the marketing emails that you're blasting out. So, I mean, I think people get a little too aggressive when it's email marketing, where I'm just me as a consumer, I'll spam it right away if I feel like they're annoying me. And you got to be a little more. And I try to implement this as much as I can by Oasis, where if I'm sending you an email marketing blast, I'm making sure there's a real call to action there, and there's a reason why I'm sending it, not just to get in your face and saying, hey, I'm here. Because once you do that, they tune you out very quickly, and there's a very short attention span. People are forever, swiping on their inbox or just like ignoring what they see because there's notifications everywhere from every app and every single program that we're using. So you want to be intentional, but you also don't want to be a ghost as well. So try to be in their face at least once a month, at least, if not more. But when you're doing that, make sure that there's a purpose to it so that they're actually not spamming you when you do it.
How do you go about building that purpose? Like, what's the?
I mean, that's customer habits. That's something you have to learn as a company. So if I'm putting out a Black Friday deal and I know that that's going to translate into $1 million in sales for the weekend, then that's a great strategy. But if I'm going about doing a happy Cinco de Mayo, which I'll do, by the way, and I'll give you a 5% off discount, also could work. But if you're going to be going about doing a, random, hey, we just got this brand and there's no call to action. I mean, really the most important thing is having an intentional call to action per product or per brand that you're representing when you go about doing that. Because if you don't have that, you'll lose them. Just announcing that you have something or there's or making a press release, it's not the right purpose of using email marketing for. There's other venues for that. You could do that on your websites. You could do that on your LinkedIn. You could do that there's so many other avenues where you actually could utilize that as a vehicle. But email marketing, make sure there's an intentional call to action. How? Using data to understand, okay, let's look at what happened last time. Let's look at the last 6 blasts we sent out. What were the actual analytics on that? What was the click-through rate? We have tracking pixels on the back end of our site. Did it actually translate to sales? Did it actually work? And if you see that you struck out, you must have went wrong somewhere. So you have to, little trial and error, but a lot of it's data driven.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you, Sam. Do you also use, let's say you're using an email service provider like Klaviyo, for example, do you then use AI like Claude and things to say, give me the trends of what's been happening here, or are you just operating directly within
So
those
you
platforms?
touched upon AI. I'm actually going to get into that a little more. I actually wanted to talk about that as one of my pet peeves, but don't get me wrong. It's very, very, it's great. It's the best if used properly, but we'll get back to that in a minute. I don't use AI to see what trends are. I mean, we use actual hard data and sales numbers to see what trends are. And that's also, a lot of that's human, because when you go to, 6 to 7 to 8 to 9 trade shows a year, and you see what the big brands are showing, and you see what even the mediocre brands are pushing, like one of the things we mentioned earlier, I mean, I'm not even sure we were on air, but was protein. Protein is right now a very, very hot item. Before that, we saw Poppy, prebiotic and probiotic sodas. That was a big trend. So like, the only way to really see trends and understand them is to live them, and to actually, get your hands dirty in the actual space. So when we have our shop going live online and we see that, I don't know, that 40% of our sales this week were in the protein space, then that should give you a good idea of that's what's trending right now. Not, hey, Chat GPT, what is trending right now? Because they make a lot of crap up. And I'll tell you something about Chat GPT, and this is what I wanted to touch on when you said AI. AI is a very useful tool. It is tremendous. It is, if used properly, Claude, Chat, all of them, you name it, they're amazing. But if you eliminate the human element from what you're doing, it is so obvious. How many times do I get people that reach out to me trying to sell me something, and I could just tell it was an AI generated message? I promise you I delete. I don't even look at it. If you don't have enough time and patience to sell me as you're trying to sell me, then I don't want to hear from you. If you're going to use me as a copy paste, change the company, I see right through it. And maybe because I use it often and I humanize it, I use it for a lot of purpose. I'll use it to structure something that I'm looking to structure, but that's after my 2 hours of work putting my information in there. And then I'll have to tinker and add and whatever. So useful if done properly with human element. But back to your question.
Yeah, 100% agreed. Eric, anything you want to add just before the end here?
All right, I'm gonna go to battle, Sam. Get ready here.
Let's go.
I think AI is everything, and I think it should be used in everything. I want to agree first in saying that the AI emails from these salespeople are really bad. They like find out where you live and like try to call out a restaurant or like random stuff like that. That's like the most obvious AI personalization ever. I actually have a theory of, and it's something we do. We actually do mass outreach without customization. That's just like, hey, this is what it is. And it actually performs better than trying to customize messages.
I'm going to pause you for a second. I'm not disagreeing with anything that you're saying, but it can't be, you can't just utilize and lean on AI as everything. You need to have a human element. I understand the purpose of it, and I use it more than you think. Trust me, I use it. I abuse it. I use it for graphic generation. I use it for, making decks and charts. But you have to give it a human touch and element to it that's going to make it feel more natural.
Yeah, I think the soft skills will definitely carry people really far over the next 3 years, 4 years. Having soft skills is going to be like probably a rarity, and being memorable. Those type of things I think will be huge. I think right now AI does need a human element. However, with AI, we've actually built something that is us. So like the best way to explain this is, think of us 500 years ago. We lack all this technology, right? We don't have any of this technology, right? Well, it's not that the people 500 years ago were that much like those people have the same level of capability of intelligence as we do. We've just gotten to work at it for 500 years. So now we have all this technology. Whereas once we end up having superhuman level AI, that AI is going to be researching for itself at a exponential growth rate.
And then you have Terminator 2 going on.
For forever. That's the thing. So what we've seen is like a certain level of intelligence working for 500 years, and this is what we get to, but we're actually building a superhuman intelligence that has exponential growth and research. So what's going to actually happen is, what happens when we give superhuman level intelligence the time to build and grow on itself for 5 years? Like we don't even know.
We have yet to see. I firmly believe that we have yet to see even the surface of the technologies that the government has or other private sectors have, just because it's not ready or it's not, the kinks aren't ironed out. I think that's already out there, so to speak. That said, yeah, you give anything time to learn and develop over the course of time, it's going to get smarter and better and more efficient. You could look at any product in any industry and anything since the beginning of time. The wheel itself turned into a car, there's just so much that will progress over the course of time. And I think you're on the money. It's definitely the future. We cannot ignore that. You can see the growth. There's a reason for the growth. However, I believe that it's not nearly where at least right now we think we're living in the golden age. I don't think we're in the golden age yet. I think we're scratching the surface of it.
That's awesome. I love to hear that. Well, I think we leave it there. Yeah, this is the Checked Out podcast. What episode is this, guys?
Episode 6, I think.
Episode
7. Damn it.
Episode 7. So episode 7 with Sam Sutton. That was a banger. Thank you for the stories, and hope you have a great weekend. And yeah, I guess we're just prepping for football season right now.
100%. I mean, thank you all so much for having me on. Been a fan. Shannon, Harry, Eric, of course. I know you're from Pryor. It's been tremendous. And whenever you need me to come back on, if you ever need a head to talk, I ain't shy.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Sam.
You got it.
Nice
Have
to
a
meet
great
you.
one.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, everyone.